Hi everybody, and welcome to this Q&A session on the very important topic. It's all about hosting, entry management and engagement with members at your event. This Q&A session we are hosting for you, for our beloved ambassadors. And today, of course, it's me again. If you have noticed me in the previous handouts, I'm Anastasia. I'm working here at InterNations headquarters for the InterNations Academy. And we are running these monthly hangouts for you, so keep your eyes open for invitations to other hangouts as well. So coming back to the topic of today, why is it important? Being a good host at your events is a key part of the ambassador role. If you manage to give members a warm welcome and make sure they interact with each other at the event, it's very likely that they come back to the next events and keep coming back more and more. Obviously, they will make friends at your events, they will make really nice experiences, and your InterNations events will give them this great opportunity to enrich their life as expats in your community. If the members are active and happy, obviously, this will lead to events with more attendees and also to the growth of your community. Of course, that's easy to say, but how do we achieve this? It all starts with the entrance management. If your members feel welcome right from the beginning, right from the moment the first step into the location, into the venue of your event, they will have the positive feeling towards it. During the event, you should also make sure that nobody stands alone and come up with ideas how to make sure that people interact with each other, that they find friends, and yeah, they keep up these good relationships. It's also helpful to get some top tips and tricks from the experienced ambassador, and actually that's why we are here today, because we have our experienced InterNations team member, Evgenia, and also one of the ambassadors, Parisa from Vancouver, and both of them will be more than happy to share their advice, to share their tips and tricks of how to make sure that you're a great host and you have great entry management and you engage with your members and make sure that they keep coming to your next events. Just to remind you, you have the opportunity, of course, to ask any questions if you're watching us live. So go to the right-hand side of the video that you're currently viewing and click on the show chat button. That will open the live chat, and you can post any questions you have in mind, any comments around hosting and being a great host, and we will make sure that we'll address this question either to Parisa or to Evgenia, and hopefully we'll give you a very helpful answer. So now to you, Evgenia.
Okay, first of all, welcome everybody. I'm Evgenia. I'm a community manager here at InterNations, and I'm working with the ambassadors in Africa and Oceania regions, making sure that they are creating and organizing really great events, and they are also being nice hosts, great hosts. Thank you, Anastasia, for already going through all the most important steps of being a great host and making sure that our members enjoy it. Let's keep all these steps in mind, and also let's ask our guest speaker, Parisa, to share her experience and share her advice on how to be a great host. First of all, I would like to introduce Parisa. Parisa has been an ambassador in Vancouver starting from February 2016, and together with her two co-hosts, she was making sure that the events in Vancouver are great experience for the members, that the members are enjoying it, that they keep coming to the events and they are having a lot of fun. And there have been lots of things changed at their events since they started, yeah, they really implemented lots of small tips, lots of really nice things at their events to make members enjoy it even more. First of all, they are holding speeches at their events, and it gives also a really nice personal touch to each event. It also helps them members to come together, to understand what InterNations is, to know who the ambassadors are. They welcome new members in a very, very personal way. They really make sure that the new members are not standing alone. They organize lucky draws, and it's a great way to interact also with the members. They stay in contact with the members also before and after the events. So the members know who the ambassadors are, and they really feel some personal connection to them. And this enthusiasm and dedication of the ambassadors in Vancouver community also reflects in the growing attendee numbers at the events, and members really enjoy the coming back and meeting each other and the ambassadors there. So this is an introduction from my side. And now I would like to ask Parisa also probably to give some personal touch from her side, some her personal introduction, and probably also tell a couple of words about why she thinks being a great host is so important.
Okay. Thank you so much. And hi, everyone. Yeah, it's just hosting an event is really important, and in my opinion, it should be natural, like when you hosting some guests in your house, that people should feel that they're home, and then because most of them, they're expats, that's just, especially newcomers, that they're coming from other countries. So if they just, you know, feeling like they're welcoming in the event, then they're feeling they will open up to other members and guests. And it's really important, especially the first moment that they're entering the event, it's really important to take care of the newcomers and also the other guests for sure. And so it's just coming out of experience that how to take care of them, how to just, you know, connect them with each other. And we're going to discuss these matters just during this session.
Yeah. So you already mentioned that it's really important to welcome the newcomers, and it really depends the success of the event really depends on how to do it. Probably you can also tell a couple of words how you do it. How do you welcome newcomers? What do you do when you see them?
Okay, usually before the events, because we have the list of the newcomers, I myself, I go through the list and make sure that I would know who are they. And then when they're just, you know, coming into the events, first of all, I would just go to them and say hi, and then shake hand with them. And then just ask them just a couple of icebreaker questions that, how long have you been, for example, in Vancouver? And then how have you just been like this city? And then how long do you want to stay? And such questions that they icebreaker, that they feel just comfortable to open up and just, you know, talk with me. And then sometimes I just find that they have language barrier. And in that case, I'm trying to connect them with the other guests that they are from the same country. Or sometimes they are a bit shy. And then in that case, I'm just trying to be more just soft and gentle with them, not to push them that, okay, talk. And then I'll just ask them, do you like me to introduce you to other members? And then usually we go from there that, you know, based on each guest, I will just, it's kind of maybe psychology of at the same time. So that, you know, when you want just to take care of them, at the same time, you have to take care that don't push them to just connect with each other, with other guests. So it should just, you know, you should just give them time to become just relaxed, and then connect them with other members.
Great tips. I would like to also follow up a little bit on it. You mentioned that you prepare for the event. It's really great. It's really nice to just take some time and prepare. And you also mentioned that you try to check who the new members are. Probably like many of the ambassadors now know that we are releasing the guest list manager application that is going to be implemented in all communities soon. Some of the ambassadors already had a chance to try it, and in this guest list manager app, everybody will be able to see who the new members are. So you won't even have to like search for it. You will see it already in the application, and it will make it even easier to do it and to check it. Question from the member, whether you have on the newcomers event or just like it's the part of official event. I will respond to this. Paris is now telling about the official events where the newcomers also, like where the newcomers are also a part of the event. It's not a specific newcomers event.
Yeah.
In some communities, we do have specific newcomers events, but it's not this case now. So the next question, probably also quite important one. When people come to the event, the first thing that they see is actually an entrance. Probably you can tell a couple of words about how do you set up the entrance? How does it look like at your events?
Okay. For the entrance, we should have the banner in the area that should be like handy for everyone to find it and to see it. Because, for example, when we have part of restaurants or in a hotel, they should know that how they're gonna find the InterNations community. And then just in a distance with that banner, I usually ask for the table, like tall table from the venue owner, and then we set up our volunteer up there. And then, as long as they're just entering to the event, we are just, starting to welcoming them, and then it starts from there. Yeah.
What other materials, event materials, are you actually using at the event?
At the entrance or generally speaking?
You can also start with the entrance and also mention generally what you're using.
Sometimes we use like wristbands that is for all watchers member I think it's in blue, and then basic members that is in white. So when they're just entering to the event and paying, we are just giving the wristband to them, and then it's easy to just for example, when we wanted to have welcome drinks or finger food, to spot that who has already paid, and it's for that case. But these are the things that we usually use during the events. Yeah.
Mm-hmm. Thank you so much. Also, like I'm pretty sure you're also using name tags and.
Oh, yeah. I have forgotten about the name. Yeah. For the name tags, also we use name tags, and I usually printed out the name tags with the flag of the country as well. So when you just you have the name tag, and then they can just see the name easily. And also when they just refer to the name of the country and see the flag. And so it's so handy for them. If they shouldn't just ask, okay, where are you from, or what's your name? Because it's really hard, for example, to pronounce names from different countries for the other people. So when they see the spelling on the name tag, it should be just okay for them to pronounce it. And then it's really helpful. Yeah.
That's true, and name tags can actually be a great icebreaker for the members, because then they see the name, that they see the country, and they start already talking about the country. They can say, "Oh, you are from Italy. I love Italy. I went on vacation there like last year," and then it's a really nice conversation starter for the members. What you could also do at the event, I will just add it from my side, you can create a newcomers desk where you could put some materials about InterNations fact sheets, where people can also learn a little bit more about the community, about the organization, get to know a little bit more about the opportunities that we have in the community. So yeah, our member just commented to what I was saying, that everybody loves Italy. Our ambassador from Miami. So just always make sure to use the most of the materials that we send. There is no materials that are not useful. They all can bring something special to your events. Just bring them all and be creative also. One more question from my side. How do you make sure that the members feel welcomed from the very first moment when they come to the event?
The first thing is smiling. When you have a just nice smile on your face, really, it's simple, but it's so important, I think, that you are just smiling at them, and again, it should be natural, like not like just showing that you're smiling. And then just, for example, asking for their names or shaking hand, and then telling them that I hope you're gonna enjoy the event, and if you have any questions or if you need anything, please come to us and ask us. So this is really important that, as I told before, that like when you're hosting some guests at your home, if you have that feeling, and then also have that kind of like attitude to them, that they are your real guests, that everything gonna be fine.
A question from a member. I will ask you, and then I will also add a couple of words from my side. Do you actually receive feedback after the events, or do you use any surveys about the event satisfaction from the events? How do you know whether the members like your events?
I myself, I usually ask them, especially those that are just coming to the events regularly, that please talk with me about the quality of the event, or let me know if there is some room for improvement. And also the other thing that I'm doing, especially for the newcomers that attending InterNations in other cities, I would go to them and ask them that, okay, please let me know if you find something like different between our community and with the other communities that you have already been there. And then again, if there is something, some room for improvement, just let us know and we are going to think about it. Or if they have some like tips or something, I will definitely consider that. Yeah.
It's a perfect answer. Just be very honest with your members, be very open for feedback, and ask them, talk to them. It already really makes a difference. Members also know that they can approach you and share their thoughts with you. We also do have a survey about the satisfaction, the event satisfaction. You can communicate with your community manager. In your case, it's Leon, Nicola, and you can always ask your community manager to send this survey to the community and ask the members how they liked specific event or how they like the events in general. Also, as ambassador, you can always, after the event, send a message to the event attendees and just ask them for some feedback as well, ask them how they like the events, what they would like to have at the events. You can always communicate. We have lots of ways of communication. So feel free to use it, feel free to stay in touch, and collect as much feedback as possible. One more question then from my side. Just imagine you are like, think of yourself as a host at the event, like just at the event now. What are you doing as a host during the whole event? Are you standing more at the entrance? Are you more with the members? How are you moving in the venue? How are you communicating with the members?
Okay. As we are 3 ambassadors in Vancouver community, it's just working like rota between us. So we usually have 2 volunteers in the entrance. So one of us will just take care of them. So standing in the entrance, and then taking care of the volunteers, also the guests that just enter into the event. And then the other 2 will just, in the event, just making sure that everyone is okay, just taking care of the newcomers, won't just stand alone. And when it comes to serving welcome drinks or finger food, make sure that everyone just, know that and go there to have their own. And so it's just like combination of both taking care of the entrance and also taking care of the event itself. And to make sure about communicating with them. As you said, that communication is really important. So we're trying to walk around and take care of our guests and to communicate with them, and then just kind of connecting them together and answer to their questions if they have some. And yeah, that's it.
Yeah, it's also great because you're like, just make sure that you like move around and try to be like in different places, communicating with all members, so that the members have the feeling that they receive your attention. It's really important. Even if there are lots of members, just spreading between them is already great. And also, our ambassador from Miami is asking, how many ambassadors do you usually have to organize the official event, and whether you divide tasks and how? You already a little bit answered this question, but probably more in detail. I know that there are 3 of you.
So we are 3 ambassadors, and I think it depends on the on the community, that how many guests are there in the community, the number of the ambassadors. But we are 3, and we are just organizing that on a rota base, right? Like for example, for this month, one of us, the next month another one, and the next month another one. But it's not like that. When I am responsible for organizing the event, no one is just helping me. We all just doing that together. Like, teamwork is really important, and it's really important to communicate with each other. So we are always there to help the one that is organizing. So when we put rota that each month one of us going to be responsible, that will put the pressure away from us, that every month we have to look for the venue, and then so that's going to be nice, and that worked actually in our community.
Great idea from one of the ambassadors also is to use the members, some members of the event as the loner hunters. Basically, ask some active members to involve into conversations, and to involve new members into conversations, to come to them actively, to approach them, to get to know them. There are always people at the events who love communicating. Just make sure that they also start helping you, start supporting you a little bit, and involve them into this communication process. And also, great idea that you also use the teamwork. Once you, of course, spread the tasks and take care of the events, taking turns, but still you are supporting each other at the event, and make sure that you are all there communicating with the members. And people have the feeling that all the ambassadors are really motivated and involved and are there for them. One of the questions from one of the ambassadors: how many members do you usually have at your events?
The average is 60, but sometimes it happened that we had 90 something, 95 in one of our events, and also like 50 in the other events, but the average is usually like 60, 65.
Thank you. Another question from my side: how do you actually make sure that those members that everybody is actually at the event, mixing and mingling, that there are no people who are standing alone?
Those that are actually, for example, it happened in the last event that I could see a newcomer that he was just standing, and he just watching around. Maybe he was a bit shy, and then I came to him, and then went to him, and then asked, "What's your name? Where are you from?" And then these kind of ice-breaking questions, and then I said, "Okay, just let me to introduce you to other members." And usually members in our community, they are just standing in a circle. So I just took him with me, and then in one of those circles, I just asked the older member that, "Hi, this is for example Tom, and just he moved to Vancouver recently. Just take care of him." So I usually ask the older members that, okay, take care of the newcomers, because you can just even rather than communication, you can help them how to find a job, how to get settled down in the city, or how to find a proper place to live, or some tips for like sightseeing. Usually I ask them to involve in such conversations between them.
Yes, so also great to know your members. If you know that some people are interested in some specific topics, also make sure to use this, and to just connect people who are interested in similar topics. Break the groups. don't worry about it. Just come and break in, and bring new members into the groups. Great tip from you, and always try to communicate as much as possible. Like in this TV show, How I Met Your Mother, the main character in the first episode was always coming to new girls asking, "Have you met Ted?" So this is a little bit like like this. Have you met this guy? He is really special about with the topic of insurance, or he is great. He could be a great person to get to know. He's fun. He knows about hiking, about whatever. So another question for me. Do you have any tips probably for some icebreaking activities? Some activities that could help people connect to each other?
Yes, the activities in the events. First of all, it shouldn't be that much complicated for them, because usually they like to mingle and talk with each other and having fun. So I ended up to this experience that the activity type should be kind of fun, and also maybe sometimes you just give them some information on something, or playing a game like icebreaker games. One time I remember that we invited a guest speaker, and she's my friend, and she was a TEDx speaker. And then I just asked her to talk about the elevator pitch, that what is the elevator pitch is. And then she just explained, and then asked the members that who want to be volunteer to come here to just, like role modeling, to just talk about themselves. And then we had 3 volunteers, and then we just picked the like raffle prize for them. So this kind of activities is also good, but out of experience, it depends on the community that what the guests and members are really like. But it should be like time to time to give some information to make the events more productive, but at the same time not forget that it should be fun. For example, sometimes we have some icebreaker game like bingo, that we had a chart, and then in that chart we have like a very small and brief questions. And we asked them to complete those questions, and at the end, who would be successful that answer to that questions to as many as questions that possible. So yeah, and that's it.
Great tips also, and you are right. It's sometimes you really have to understand your community. In some communities, these icebreaking games are just necessary to connect people. People love it. People need them. In some communities, they don't really work. But, I would really recommend to try if you still haven't, and to see whether it works for your communities or not. You can always get inspired by checking the Ambassador Resource Center. We have an Ambassador game book there, and you can have a look at the icebreaking games that we recommend. Also, we have this bingo game there that you can try, and you can see whether members like it or not, whether they accept it or whether it doesn't work for your community. But it's a great way to start to create the first step for everybody to connect. And then people then can communicate on their own and feel more relaxed afterwards.
I just wanted to comment on the discussion that is going on in parallel to our conversation with Parisa about the no-show rate. Of course, unfortunately, it is an issue in almost all of our communities that people do have other commitments. Sometimes things don't work out, so they just sign up, but they forget to sign out and cancel their attendance from the event. So we do experience approximately 40% on average of a no-show rate across all different communities, some more, some less, depending on the community size, on the culture. Also, it definitely has a big influence on that, on different developments, the times of the events, and so on. So we do have the Guest List Manager app, which is being introduced gradually in all the communities. So for the next, I believe, 2 to 3 months,
yes, everybody will already
it should
have
be rolled out to all the ambassadors in all the communities. And if you haven't received if you haven't received it yet, or you're not using it yet, your contact person at the headquarters will definitely get in touch with you within the next days and give you more information on what to do with it and how to use it. But we'll definitely provide you with a better management tool for the entrance management, and also will show you your statistics, your data, how many people attended, and of course will help you to plan the no-show rate, because this is something that we have to live with.
Moreover, the question was, why does InterNations not do much about it? We are all constantly working on it. It's our main topic here. We are discussing it. And we are trying to support our ambassadors as much as we can, sending the invitations, the reminders, reminding the members to come, looking for the new ways. For now, we also don't want to push the members too much. They're still free members. They can decide for themselves whether to come or not. And we don't want to feel them obliged to come to each and every event when they sign up. Sometimes they find the event interesting and just click sign up, and in the end something pops up. And we also don't want to punish them for it. What we generally recommend to the ambassadors: you know your communities. You have been organizing your communities, your events for a while. Make sure to check the show-up rates, ask your community managers to share them with you, and count with them. Just analyze your community, just check what the show rate was, always estimate it for the future events. It's always easy to do it. It's all you know how many people show up, and yeah, just this is your number. Then the show up rate is basically the number of members that you can count with at your events.
There was also another question, I think also to Parisa, about the starting time of your events. So usually for us, we would recommend that 7 p.m., 7 to 8 p.m. works really well in most of the communities, but it also depending on the culture, on the country, and so on. But when do your events start, Parisa?
Okay, so we changed that a bit. It used to be 7, but I myself, I was thinking that, okay, sometimes it's really hard for those that they're working, they're employee, and they go home, get ready, and again come back. And usually it's in downtown Vancouver, and that it's rush hour that time. So I was thinking that just somehow connecting the start time with the end of working hours. So that would definitely work for those that are working to come to the event directly from work. And it was successful, actually. Now we have it at 6:30. We used to have it at 6, and between 6 to 6:30. And then, yeah, that's why. But before, we used to have it at 7.
Okay, so it really also depends on your community. For example, I'm working with Australia. In Australia, we start the events really early because people finish with work really early, like at 5:30. In some communities, they like to start later because people are like, for example, in Spain, like to stay out a little bit later. So just choose for your community. And also, you asked about the service. If you really are interested in what time is the best for your members, you can always ask your community manager to have a survey in your community and ask the members what time they would prefer, what time, what day of the week, what would they like, what they're up for, what the members are up for that are attending your events, and what the members are up for that the members that are not attending your events are up for. You can also compare it and see. Also, I saw the comment from one of the ambassadors that it's rude that people don't come to your events when they sign up. Well, the only way to make sure that people show up to your events is communication. Let them know how important it is for you. Let them know that you really need to confirm it with the venue. Communicate with them before your event. Send them a message to the attendees using the ambassador dashboard, asking them one more time to cancel their attendance if they are not really going to show up. It really makes a difference. People really see that they are important for you. That each and every one of them really counts. just be very personal with them, very nice, very friendly, in a very nice and open, friendly manner. Let them know that you really care about them showing up, and I'm pretty sure that they will start caring more as well. Yeah. So you already mentioned the elevator speech, and I also heard that you have lucky draws at your event. What other specials do you sometimes have at your event to increase the interaction between the members? Do you have any ideas? Probably like some nice themed events or something, some special touch.
Yeah, we usually just try to have some like games, for example. Once we ask them to introduce themselves to the person, to the member that's standing next to them for 1 minute. And then when that 1 minute finished, we would just think on a glass or something, and then they would just turn around. And in that case, they would just, turn around and then introduce themselves to many member as possible. And then something like this, that it's game, it's fun, but on the other hand, also they're introducing themselves to each other. So you always remember that member that you were just talking with, that in 1 minute, just what's my name, where I'm from, or what am I doing in Vancouver. So that kind of stuff should be effective. That, again, I'm just emphasizing on a combination of fun and something more in between. So, for example, in this case, for interacting, just talking, introducing themselves to each other.
Yeah, it's also good. It's also good to mix the activities to not only make them just fun, but also help members to at least start getting to know each other and start communicating. Like also really nice the way to communicate is a 3-minute speed networking activity where people just come and talk to each other. Give a special touch to your events, and the more special, the more interesting your events are, the more people are likely to come and communicate. Yeah, if it's a themed event, for example, like Hawaii style or some Spanish event, people would also be already happy to come. Or, for example, create a nice photo shoot. Put an InterNations banner and tell everybody to take pictures in front of the InterNations banner. Or like just a nice costumes. Ask everybody to come together in the costumes and make funny pictures at the events. People would definitely love to be engaged in such activities, and they really will get closer to each other, taking pictures, and then they will definitely try to get to know different people they have been taking pictures with. So always
add something.
Uh-huh.
For the photographer that you're saying, I did a very good deal with one of our members. He's a professional photographer. And then I asked him, okay, what if in each event, I'll give you one free drink? And then, and also you're not paying the entrance fee, but instead, please do the professional photography for us. And usually, and he accepted. And for most events, he's just coming, bringing the professional camera, and then shooting good photos. Yeah. So this is another professional, and then to know them, what their profession is, and then we can ask for their help, to run better events.
It's also a great tip. Having a professional photographer is always a great idea, and members always love it, and it's also a great way for the members to stay in touch after the event, because they can always come, take the pictures, share them, and also even for those members who have never been at the events, it's a great way to see what the events actually are, what's going on there. Yeah, one more note for the no-show rates, again, coming back because I saw the comments there coming now and then. Those people who come to your events, they usually know you. They usually know that you're volunteers organizing nice events, and they really respect you. Those people who don't come, they sometimes don't know who you are. They don't know who is standing behind this. They don't know who is organizing the events. They don't know how it all works. So not every member really knows the community very well. So as I mentioned before, make sure to be like more open to the members, share with them going, how it's organized, how much effort you are making to do it, and be really friendly and nice and with them, and then they will really also appreciate it a little bit more.
I think also what you mentioned, Teresa, that you're given a little introduction and introducing yourself and what you're doing. I think that also something that could be mentioned in the introduction, that this is something that you're volunteering for, that you put in your extra time and effort to make the community lively and to make sure that members have something to go to experience, to meet friends, to meet new members. And therefore, this is very appreciated if they do come, or if they cannot come, they cancel. So I think establishing this personal connection does help, but of course, it's not like gonna raise your attendance rate to 100%,
yes.
but at least they will improve it a bit.
Yeah, there will always be some people who don't come. Also, you can connect with them after the event and tell them, hey, we really missed you at our event. For those who haven't come, please just come to the next event, and if you cannot, cancel your attendance in advance so that we know also. So yeah.
And another comment from Federico, he's ambassador in Florence, Italy. He probably just saw that you're having an event tonight, and he's wishing you good luck and that you have a nice event, Marisa.
Thank you. Kind of him.
A bit a complicated, a tricky question. How actually are you dealing if there are members complaining about the event? If you receive any complaints?
For the complaints, the first thing that we should know that we should be open up for complaints. The first thing that I say thank you, because that means that they do care about your events, they do care about quality, and they're paying attention, first of all. So we should usually be open to criticizing or whatever. They're just actually helping us to improve our community. And then when I just listen to them, if it's going to be something that is under my control, I would just, I would rather say, okay, I'll just take care of it. I'll talk with other ambassadors, and then we're going to see in which ways we are going to cope with it. And if it would be something that the headquarters should decide about it, I would ask them that send me a message, and then I would just, forward your message to my manager, or if not, I would just send an email myself to my manager and, raise the issue. For example, there is some, serious complaint that explain the reason and so on. So we usually should be open for that, and first say thank you, and then at the end I would say that I'll do my best to take care of it. Yeah.
Thank you so much. A really amazing response. Really great. Two parts of it. Feedback is always important, and we always appreciate feedback. And here in headquarters, we also love feedback, and we very often we ask for feedback. And of course, every member should know that they can give you feedback, that they can come to you and ask you to change something. Second part, stay in contact with your community manager. We are here working full-time every day from 9 to 6 and even longer to support you, to give you a really best support that we can to deal with any possible issues, conflicts, complaints, questions. We are there to make sure that you don't have any troubles and problems. So if you have any complaints, just let us know about them, and we definitely will know what to do. In general, we always recommend if the members have any complaints, they can also contact us directly by using support.internations.org. Not as community managers, but support.internations.org is checking all the complaints from the members every single day. They know what to do in each and every case. They are communicating with their supporting members, our member relations team, and they are really open for all the complaints. Always mention this to the members. They can communicate via support.internations.org. Yeah, so
I'm just want to go back to the guest list manager, because apparently it became a hot topic since we mentioned it. to Nicola, and also an investor in Zurich, I assume. Yes, there are different features that Guest List Manager app has, and the schedule of rolling it out, you can ask your manager when it's going to be available in your community, or when the rollout will be in your community, and also all the other features like feature to be offline, download the guest list, everything will be there, and you will get the full information in a couple of days or in a couple of weeks. So we just want to announce that this is a cool thing. We've been working so hard on making it happen, and we will definitely do the best of our support to make sure that it's been introduced and runs very smoothly for you and gives you the best value, the best benefit possible.
Yeah, definitely, it's going to be a very we really did our best to make your life easier in your communities, to help you get rid of a little bit get rid of your paperwork.
Be more sustainable.
Yeah, be more sustainable, and check in with the members quicker at the entrance.
Yeah, I would like to call for the last couple of questions. So if you guys who are watching us live, do you have any more questions to Parisa? Please make use of this last couple of minutes so we can still get her brains picked a little bit. And
yeah.
Evgenia, any questions from your side?
I guess we have covered pretty much everything from my side.
So Parisa, what would be your top tip to be a great host at the InterNations official event?
My pleasure, and thanks to you.
Parisa, what would be your top tip?
Oh, okay. Your voice was cut off, so I didn't just hear you well. The tips for being a great host is that, I think I just mentioned that during our questions and answers, but again, I'm repeating that. First of all, it should be natural. You should feel that these are your real guests. And then I think for whatever you're doing, if you put your heart in that, then you're going to be successful. So just when you're smiling, it should be natural. You're really smiling. If you're just saying welcome, you really mean it. But sometimes you're just, repeating the words, and the person that you're talking with, they're just getting the vibes. So that is really important. That will help you to be connected to your members and to your guests. In that case, they're just feeling that, okay, we're welcome. Here is the community and the place that we're going to be, feel ourselves, and we definitely within such community, we are just finding good friends. And then for newcomers, again, make sure that they wouldn't just stand alone, and help them to connect with other older members to get tips about how this community works, how they can just find friends within the community. And also for example, entrance, as you said, for name tags, banner, and then also the volunteers, how they're just interacting with members is so important, so that before the events start, we should just brief our volunteers that how to interact, how to manage the entrance. And then also it's really good to have fun icebreaker games during the events. And then also asking feedback from them also during the event, like how are you just enjoying? Do you have any tips that we're gonna improve the quality, or whatever tips that just help us to have new things in the community and in the events. And then also we mentioned that if someone has a complaint, we should be open to the complaint, and then help them to have the feeling that we do care about them and we do care about their complaints. And if there is something that we cannot change it, we should just explain why. For example, that happened to me, that one of the members just asking us, well, you're not taking the events over the weekends. And then I would just explain to them that because it's really hard in Vancouver to find a venue without paying, because we do not have that much budget for that over the weekend. But it's more easy for us to find it in weekdays. So that way the guest was satisfied, and she said, no, it's okay. So I'm trying to make it even in weekdays. So this means that we do care about them, and it's all about customer service and customer care. Yeah, these are my tips.
Any top tips from you, Evgenia? I was actually thinking about one top tip. I heard it also from one of the ambassadors, and it's also connected to what Parisa said. Whenever you're organizing the events, whenever you're coming to the events, just keep one simple thing in mind. In every your community, there are like from 60 to like 400, 500 people, like in all your communities, that are coming to your events. They love your events. They are super appreciative, and they really love what you are doing. And we have 2.5 million people in all over the world registered to come to your events. And they, just keep this little thing in mind, and bring it into your heart, because this is really what every member values, and the more you think about it, the more happy you are yourself as a host.
Yeah, and one top tip for me is to make the use of our learning and supportive material, which you can find on the Ambassador Resource Center, just under your profile, if you click on it. And we do have quite a lot of information there, everything that we've collected, all the tips and advice about hosting and organizing your events, useful information about InterNations, and so on and so forth. Quite a few frequently asked questions, everything to help you organize the events and make it as easy as possible for you, but also make use of the brains that we have here, your contact persons. They do have a lot of experience. Lots of them have worked with many investors over the past years and have collected a lot of advice and experiences that they can share with you and support you. So do make use of those. And yeah, we are hoping that you'll be great hosts at your next events. And to Parisa, also from our viewers, best of luck for tonight. And thank you for participating today. Thank you very much for your time, Parisa. So early in the morning in Vancouver.
Thank you.
Thank you. I hope that would be useful for those that were watching us.
Thank you. Thank you, Parisa. Thank you, everybody who watching us. Thank you, Evgenia, for your great support and experience. And we'll see you maybe in the next hangout.
Thank you so much. Bye.
Bye.